Students, this is your environmental studies class, continuing with our chapter number 14, When the Earth Shook, part 2 of the chapter. Moving on. Well, what is this? This is a Richter scale. How are earthquakes measured? Earthquakes are measured by instruments called seismographs. This is a seismograph, and this is how exactly it measures. The only difference in the image is that the paper is rolled on a roller. It has a base that sets firmly in the ground and a heavy weight that hangs free. When an earthquake causes the ground to shake, the base of the seismograph shakes too. Along with the earthquake, the base is attached to the earth. It shakes, but weight does not shake. With the weight, the pen is attached, and there is a spring through which the weight is attached. So when the earthquake causes the ground to shake, the base of the seismograph shakes too, but the heavy weight does not. The spring that is hanging from absorbs all the moments. The seismograph records the difference in position between the shaking part and the motionless part. So this is how the seismograph actually looks, and this is how it records, and everything is done. Moving on, the recording is called the seismogram. The seismogram is recorded like this. It is used to determine how large the earthquake was, and how short wiggly line that wiggles very little means a small earthquake. So as you can see in the moving image, that if the lines are big, that means the earthquake's magnitude is also big, and when the lines are small, that means the earthquake is also very of small magnitude. A long wiggly line that wiggles a lot means a large earthquake, and a line wiggles a little, that means a small earthquake. So the Richter scale was developed in 1935 by American seismologist Charles Francis Richter as a way of quantifying the magnitude or strength of what should be the actual scale of the earthquake. And Richter scale was developed by Charles Francis Richter. That's why it is known as Richter scale, and he only gave this unit in order to measure the magnitude, that means scale of earthquake at what point it is occurring. So here, as you can see, I'll show you the Richter magnitude scale. Now description is, if it is less than 2.0, that means it is micro. Then 2.0 to 2.9 is very minor. Then 3.0 to 3.9 is minor. Then light, moderate, strong, major, and so on. So each magnitude of the earthquake on which it is being measured causes a destruction according to its magnitude itself. So if it is less than 2.0, micro earthquake, you will not feel anything. Where you will feel, often felt from 3.0 to 3.9. These are felt by the human beings. 2.0 and 2.9 are not felt but recorded on the seismograph, because the seismograph's base is light, so it moves with the earthquake also. And the 9.0 or greater, devastating in areas several thousand miles across. That means it causes lots and lots of damage in several miles where it occurs actually, from its focus to epicenter. And when that seismic waves travel, and finally when the rock stops shaking and sets again, that's when the earthquake stops. But till the time it is shaking the earth, it has caused a lot of destruction. So magnitudes only decides that what amount of destruction has been caused due to this scale of magnitude on which the earthquake has occurred. And it is seismograph which measures the earthquake, and it is Richter scale on which it is measured. Now moving on, if the shaking begins, safety measures to be taken during an earthquake. What you should be doing, if you are inside the house, you should drop down, take cover under a desk or a table, and hold on. Okay, you should hold on to the leg of the table, so that if something falls down, it will fall on the table and not on you. Stay indoors until the shaking stops and you are sure it's safe to exit. Stay away from the bookcases or the furniture that is above your height and may fall down on you, so stay away from that. And you also stay away from the windows, because due to the sudden shaking, the glass breaks, and if your window panes are of glass and everything, so it may break and cause damage to you. So you should be staying away anything inside the house which is above your height and heavy, and also windows. What you should be doing, if you are in bed, hold on and stay there, protecting your head with a pillow. Also, when the shaking stops, you should immediately move out of the house when the shaking stops, because it is not necessary that if earthquake has stopped, that means that stops for good. It may occur again in a few seconds or minutes. So it happens a lot of times that earthquake may occur once again in the same day or same hour or same pace of time. So you should be moving out whenever the moment stops out of the house. If you're outdoors, you need to find a clear spot away from buildings, because if the earthquake's magnitude is so much that the buildings are likely to collapse, that means you should be moving away from the large buildings, trees and power lines. That means large power lines. And you should drop to the ground. And if you're in a car, slow down and drive to a clear place. Stay in the car until the shaking stops. So you need to stay at the place where you are, but you need to find the clear spot for yourself, so that you can be sure that if there is nothing around you which may fall on you and you get injured by that. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. This is the end of the part 2. There is one more part for the chapter which is left, and that would be part 3 and the last part of your chapter. In the last 2 parts, we have discussed about earthquake, how it occurs, why it occurs, and what happens when earthquake occurs, and how it is measured, who was Sir Richard and how he found out, and everything we have discussed about earthquake. In the next video, I will be telling you more about earthquake as well as other natural disasters. So stay tuned. Until then, be safe and take care, everybody.